In this video, I'll show you how to take a practice exam. Now we have students take a practice exam right at the beginning of the class, just to get a baseline to see what students know coming into the course. Then at the end of the course, once you start studying for the certification exam, you'll be doing lots of practice tests just to make sure that you've got your timing nailed down, you've got all your knowledge nailed down before you sit for the actual certification exam. To go ahead and start, you want to first log in to geometrics.net. So let's get to it. And we can see it's going ahead and preparing the test. This download test resources, the exam will need some Excel files in order to execute the test. So you want to click Start here. And you can see then it downloads some Excel spreadsheet files that it will use during the exam. And click Continue. Now, the very first time that you do this, it might take a few minutes to load. Just be patient. It will go ahead and load. And here we have then the environment where you'll do the practice exam. You can see that we have the spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet loaded here. And this is actually using your version, whatever you have installed of Excel, which is kind of cool because you can click on any of the different tabs up here. Everything is fully functioning because it's actually using Excel. Now, let me show you how to go ahead and navigate through the practice exam. You'll see here towards the bottom of the screen, there's what I call the taskbar area. And if we look at along the green taskbar, we can see there's some interface tips here. We can resize the instruction. We can change this and dock. Instead of along the bottom, we can dock it along the side. That's this little button right here. Right here, where it says Project 1 of 7, the way that Geometrics runs its exams and also its post-assessment tests is it will present you different projects. And a project is basically an Excel spreadsheet and a set of tasks. So we can see that we are on Project 1 of 7, or the very first spreadsheet. And we can see then that this very first project has 5 tasks. And you can see task 1, task 2, task 3, 4, and 5. There's also an overview of what the spreadsheet is all about. So if I click on Overview, we can see that it just says, you manage a rental shop at a popular public beach. It is your responsibility to update the list of rental rates. So that's just what this spreadsheet is, the purpose of the spreadsheet. If we click on each task, we can see that there are instructions then about what you should be doing. So if we click on a particular task, so you can see if I click on, say, task 4, the instructions say, change the orientation of the surf rentals workshop to landscape. Okay, so you just come up to here to your Excel sheet. We're on the sun rental worksheet, and we want to change it to landscape. I happen to know how to do this one. I come to my page layout, my orientation, landscape. And then once I've completed a task, I like to click out in the spreadsheet just to make sure that it registered in the system. So for a project, start with task 1, read the instructions, do what it asks you to do. Go to task 2, task 3, 4, 5. Once you've done all of the tasks for a project, you'll want to click on this grade project. That will go ahead and take your work, check it to see if it's correct, and then it will present the next project, i.e. the next spreadsheet, and a new set of tasks to do on the second spreadsheet. And we can see that we're now on Project 2 of 7. You'll do these 5 tasks, grade the project, It'll present the next one, etc., etc. area. Now, the last thing I want to show you in this area is as you're going through and working on each task, when you finish the task, you want to mark it as completed or mark it for review. And then you can click next task, or you can use these buttons up here. Okay, and now that I've finished that task, I want to go ahead and mark it down along the bottom as mark it as completed. As you go, mark it as completed. And you can see it just shows you a little tick box up here. So if I go to other tasks, I can still see that tick box. If there's a particular task that you're not sure how to do, you can go ahead and mark for review. You can see you get a little marking, a little tag over on this side. If you have a task that maybe you attempted, so you completed it, but you're really not sure, you might want to come back and have another look at it, you can actually mark it for both. Once you've done all of the tasks for a project, you want to click on this grade project. The grade project button will go ahead and submit that Excel worksheet and the tasks that you completed into that SMS app. It will grade it, and then it will present the next spreadsheet, i.e. the next project, with a new set of tasks. And we can see, indeed, we are now on project 2 of 7. This is our second spreadsheet. Here's our tasks for this spreadsheet. So you'll work along doing the task, grading, until you've completed all 7 projects. Now, if you're working on a particular project and things just get totally messed up and you want to sort of clear everything out, you can click this Restart Project button. This will, all the work for the current project will be lost. It'll reset it to as it originally was presented. So if you've completed some tasks, whatever you've done will be reset and you'll have to redo those tasks. Now, I always like to save, I always like to allow enough time to complete a practice exam. But if by chance you get interrupted or you're not able to complete a test all in one setting, you can click this Save Project, which will go ahead and save your exam and then exit the system, and then you can come back and pick it up from where you left off. Once you've gone through all 7 projects, you've completed all 5 tasks on each project, you want to click this Summary button. In fact, you can click that Summary button at any point. And what the Summary button will do is it will take you back for each project, and it will show you for each task whether you viewed it, whether you marked it for review, or whether you marked it for complete. So this is a good way to come back and check any that maybe you marked for review if you want to go back and try them again. For example, if I come to task 2 that I marked for review and I click Go, it will take me back to that spreadsheet and that particular task. And I could then go ahead and try it again. I go back to Summary. We can see at the bottom, you can also save your task, or you can save your test from here. Or when you've done all of the tasks that you can, go ahead and click on this Finish Test. And we'll say yes. And it takes a little bit of time, but it will then show you your results. And you can see, I failed. Oh no, don't give up. Well, of course, I didn't really answer hardly any of the questions. If I come down here, it doesn't give me too much detail, but I can see the questions that I got right and the questions that I got wrong. I really only answered that task 4, so that's the only one I got right. What you'll need to turn in after taking a practice test or after doing your post assessments is a screenshot that shows your score. Your screenshot needs to include your name, the name of the practice test that you took, and your score. You don't need to show the details of which ones you got right or which ones you got wrong exactly. Okay, and that's how you take a practice exam.